right. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to be here tonight, talking with all of you. My glasses are getting in the way. Talking with all of you. We got some cool training planned for tonight. We are going to be talking just a little bit. Amy's going to talk to us a little bit about Record Breaker. And then we have some managers that we're featuring tonight talking to us about a variety of things that help them in their journey with managership, right? So they're just going to tell us some like different tips and stuff, because I know that there's always like something there's like, oh man, when I learned how to do this, it changed my life, you know. And so, and there are a lot of things like I can think right now. I'm thinking of a dozen things that were like game changers in my business. But I was on the welcome call tonight, and I was telling them if I had to label one thing as a secret to my success, it would be to be coachable and to be open, because like time and time again, I am consistently going in for feedback. I'm leaning into feedback. Like, how do I, I'm doing this and it's not working. You help me. And I go to several sources for feedbacks. I go to some of my directors, right? We work together. I coach them, but they help me just as much as I help them, because some of them are definitely more experts at some of these things than I am. I mean, nobody can really be an expert at everything, right? So some of them have very, Amy has somebody look at her face kind of like, well, maybe I am like, so, but you know what I mean? Like, and so and I am not afraid to outsource. Okay. Like if I am not an expert in something, I will find an expert and I will either trade for their services or I will pay them, because I want to be an expert and I want to look like I'm an expert, but if I'm not an expert, I'll find somebody. And so, but luckily we have such an amazing, talented pool of leaderships here that typically there is an expert within that group of people, which is awesome. And if there isn't, they see a hole and they're like, well, I want to learn about that too. And so somebody ends up rising to that occasion. So, and so you all are lucky enough to be able to be here with us and be able to, learn from that expertise. And so what I'm saying is don't be afraid to ask for feedback from people. Like, ask people, I was saying on the Monday call, I'm like, ask people to your party. No, don't say, hey, can you add me to all your parties because you're so successful? No. Bring them into your party and be like, can you take a look at my party and just see what the deal is? So don't be afraid to like lean into to any sort of criticism or anything like that, because it's coming from a place of caring and wanting to make you better, and in the process making us better as well. And so so definitely, if I had to say there was a secret, it was just to be coachable and just to be open and honest with my upline about when I was struggling, when I was feeling discouraged, when I was really excited, when I share all the highs and lows. And so there have been times I called Pam in tears after, something went drastically not my way, and she picked me up and she helped me see the lesson in it, and also helped me pivot and maybe go a different direction than the direction I was headed. So lots of good value there. All right, so let's get started. So the question is, did you RSVP? And I am going to put my I'm going to put my phone number in the chat, because I want you all to text me your addresses if you're a winner and tell me what, tell me your name and then tell me what tell me your name and tell me your address. What's my phone number? 440-552-0747. Oh, okay. It's gonna be a fun night. Okay, so did you RSVP? So we have our RSVPers, right? We have 27 people that RSVP'd. So I am doing this super duper simplified, not techie at all, unlike Jenny. Jenny's super techie with all this stuff. And I'm gonna ask for a number between 1 and 27, and then I'm going to count. And then that's the winner, if they're on, of course. All right, so Siri, can I have a number between 1 and 27? Number 17. So let's go up. Oh, it's Jerry. Is Jerry on? I think I saw her. Yeah. All right, way to go, Jerry. You are the winner. Text me your address. All right. And Amy, you keep the list, so then that way I know what the addresses go with the people. And text me your name too, because you're probably not in my phone. All right, next. There we go. Champion at a glance, our week Mondays. I'm going to break this down for you in different ways. On Mondays and Thursdays. Those are opportunities for you to sharpen your saw, to be trained, right? To get information. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are opportunities for you to grow your business. That's a place to invite guests. It's something to share with your guests. And also on Tuesdays can be a learning thing too, in the sense of if you want to watch demos and learn from people doing demos, that's a great place to do it. And then every day, all day, these are the websites or the areas that you want to visit. twchamps.com, save it in your bookmarks. It has all of our recipes. So many great resources are on that website. Tup Social, Tup Now, that is in your back office. Okay. Tup Social is when you have the paid for website. That's the additional thing that you get to help you market your business on social media. Tup Now is for everybody. That is your new consultant training. It is also new training. Like they're always uploading new training on there. So always be checking in with that. The Champion Team Facebook page, and then also the Champion Copy and Paste. Those are the two most important Facebook groups that are out there. And then there's some other ones, but they're not as important as these two. As you're getting going and things like that, we'll keep adding you to various groups for your needs. All right. Okay. Post like a champion. Ahas. All right. Hey, Siri, can I have a number between 1 and 12? Number 9. In case anybody doesn't believe me. Oh my gosh, it's Jerry again. Jerry, you rock. All right, second drawing, 2 in a row. Is she gonna get another one? All right, let's find out. All right, post like a champion for our leaders Zoom that happens on Mondays. It's for leaders and future leaders. All right. So if you're wanting more, if you're wanting more training, if you're wanting more information, it's a great place to be. Hey Siri, can I have a number between 1 and 14? Number 6. Paula Berry. Yeah, Paula Berry. Paula Berry listens to recordings, guys. I was talking on the call earlier. If you can't make it to this meeting, or you normally can't, and you happen to be here tonight, or there's another meeting you normally can't go to, go watch the recordings. She consistently watches the recordings of things the day after, sometimes later that night. She works night shift. So she gets off work in the middle of the night, right? Like, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning. And so she typically is not on things. But that's how she got into that, which is super cool. All right. So we need Hot Topics. I think Hot Topics is, yep. Hey Siri, can I have a number between 1 and 22? Number 18. Tina Bradford. Congratulations, Tina. I love it. All right, what we got next? Oh, our cooking show. Oh my gosh, did you guys not love the cooking show? And as I'm scrolling, I see Robin's post with that recipe. Didn't that look delicious? You guys got to check that out. It was yeah, it was a fun cooking show. Hey Siri, can I have a number between 1 and 15? It's Susan Clark. I don't know Susan Clark. That's a new name. I'm excited. New winner. All right, Susan Clark. Okay. And what is the next one? I know we've got another one. We have our Wednesday interview. We only had a couple ahas on that, so that'll be easy. Hey Siri, a number between 1 and 2. Let's see. It is Robin Vanderwagen. She's a big winner. She wins a lot. All right, Party's Up. Now this one's a little bit more tricky, so hold please. So here are the consultants with Parties Up. How awesome is that? So many people. Heather Blackwell, girl, 10 parties. I love it. But anyway, 10 parties. Wow, that's amazing. Jen, Joni, Pam Callahan. Look at Gina Arnold coming up. Oh, whoops, sorry, my bad. Coming up close behind with 8, Loretta, Jessica. Look at this. That is an amazing amount of parties up. And look at the team Parties Up. Okay, so we are going to pause for a moment and well, let me do this really quick. All right, so our kit going right now, this is our kit offer. Absolutely awesome. Always make sure you have a saved image of the kit on your phone. I am just as guilty of this as everybody else, right? And all of a sudden I'm reaching out to my friends. I'm like, quick, I need a picture of the kit, right? So I'm talking to somebody and they're like, what comes in the kit? And I'm like, oh, let me find that. All right. So that is something really good to just like save on your phone. However you organize your phone in your notes or whatever, this is a great image to make sure that you keep that has our kit, because it's $475 worth of product for $139. That is such a great deal. That is a huge percentage off to be able to get all these products, and such a great variety of products to be able to demo at your parties. So definitely keep it in there. All right. Oh my gosh, look at all these people that earn the highlighter. How fun is the highlighter? I love me some office supplies. Okay. And if they say Tupperware on them, that's like a bonus. And I love little things like this because it's flat. It could slide right into the side of my pocket, like in my bag or anything like that. All good things. All right. And then the monthly personal sales challenge. Oh, how awesome is this? I love these commuter mugs. It's so funny because I'm going to see my daughter at college this weekend, and I was looking through I was getting her coffee mug out of the cupboard because she forgot one. And so I was taking one down, and I was like, oh, she probably needs a travel mug. And I pulled down one of my commuter mugs that's like super old. And I was like, gosh, should I take her this one? I'm like, no, it's kind of my favorite one. I'm like, so I was going through, like, which one will I part with? Because I wanted to have one, but I was like, oh, I love this one. Oh, they don't make that color anymore. Oh, they don't make this style anymore. They always have so many different mugs. So I love when we can get them for a better deal, right? So $500 in personal sales gets you it for $10. Look at all these people that already got it. And then the $1,000, getting your cold brew. If you do not have a cold brew, you definitely want to try and earn this, seriously, because the cold brew is amazing. There's so many cool demos you can do with the cold brew. And that's what I'm talking about, like just really being choosy about the things that when you're spending money in your business, being choosy about the products that you're actually purchasing to use for demos and how quickly they could turn around and make you some money. So many cool demos you can do with this. If you already have the cold brew, what a great value to be able to get some of these things. You could sell the cold brew for full price, give those tumblers away separately, and maybe use that, the straws for giveaways, right? Lots of different cool things you can do with that for low price of $20. All right, 2,000 gets you the cake takers, and then our the first order reward. All right, we got some people on here. One of these people was actually on our welcome call. Tawana was on there, and she'd already gotten her first order reward. Congrats. All right, and then the party bonus award, which is super exciting. So when you have $500 in sale in your first month and you're recruited this month, you're going to get all this stuff for $10. Now talk about leveraging your money. You can get a lot of giveaways out of this. If you break this all up for $10, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different things that you can use for giveaways, or you could sell full price, and practically that's like $100 worth of stuff there. Something like that, $64.50. Oh yeah, it's well over $100 worth of stuff. So lots of cool things that you can do when you earn things like this. That's why I always say go for every single thing. All right, I'm going to tape this down, and we are going to go over to Amy, and she is going to talk to us for a couple minutes just about Record Breaker and what it's all about.
Awesome. Thanks, Ellen. All right. So I am really excited for Record Breaker. So Record Breaker is the month of October, right? And every year they always have big things that we can earn. And it's all about, it's all about breaking records. But not only that, but it will help set up the rest of our year, which is really, really important, because you want those parties, right, for November and for December, and having a strong October will help you have a strong November and December. And so Ellen was asking me about my biggest October, and actually it was I went back and looked it up, and it was 2015. I was very pregnant with Alex. And I was still going, and I was doing the in-home parties, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm going to tell you, if you know someone who's pregnant, get them to sell Tupperware and have in-home parties, because people will buy tons of Tupperware from them because they did, well, at least from me, but it was a lot of fun. So anyway, that year, my biggest month, it was, my sales were $5,013. So my record to break would be, $5,015, right? You don't want to go buy just a couple of dollars, but that is what I am shooting for. So think about what you want, write it down, and then go a little bit higher. All right. And make sure that there's going to be amazing gifts too. So there's always, Tupperware, they like to give us some amazing gifts. Ellen was just sharing with us some of the things that we can earn this month. So, and that's September. So just think about like, because they usually go over and beyond for the month of October. So create that now. And Ella's been giving us some amazing tips in Champion. So if you haven't been doing those, go in there and check them out, because that is just helping prepare us for October, which will help prepare us for an amazing year end, right? So have fun with it and good luck to everybody. All right, back to you, Ellen.
Awesome. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Tips galore, lots of different things that I've been sharing, and lots of other people have been sharing too. And if you, I don't have an update for the booking blitz. Pam's going to have to like do all that stuff when she gets back. However, if you have been in that booking blitz group, if you're not in the booking blitz group, Amy, do you think you could find the link for that and pop it right into the chat for us? That'd be great. So the Booking Blitz group, there's some tips in there. There's some video training of people from Legacy, which is Tina Oscar's team, sharing different things about dating parties. I saw some of you actually putting some of them into action. I saw your pictures. I remember seeing Robin. There's somebody else that held up the picture, will you date a party with me? So I love seeing you guys immediately putting that type of stuff into action. So kudos, because I mean, like that is the, oh, she's hanging her, holding up her sign right now. So that's the name of the game. I mean, you can listen to all the training that you want to, but if you don't put it into play, it means nothing. And honestly, one of the best habits that you can get into is you listen to training on this day, and the next day spend at least 15 minutes putting something into action. Right. And so plan that out. Like, just like when I would do vendor events, I would schedule the vendor event. And then in my calendar, I would schedule as if I was meeting somebody to do my follow-up. And so I say my vendor event was on Sunday. Monday, I have blocked off time to do my follow-up. And that's one of the best things that you can possibly do for yourself. Do the same thing with our trainings. And even if you're watching the replay of this, right, and you can't be on live because of whatever, it keeps you from being on live, you can listen to the replay and then give yourself another 15 minutes to do it. One of the things, again, that I still do this all the time. I've done it from day one, is if I'm getting ready to work on dating parties, I listen to a dating training at double speed. Everybody knows this now. I listen to everything on double speed. I listen to a dating training, and then I immediately turn around and start implementing it and making my follow-up calls immediately. And so I schedule that time. If I don't have, like, say the dating training is 30 minutes, if I don't have a full hour, so I can do 30 minutes and 30 minutes, do it. And then if I'm in a slump, right, because we all get into slumps where you're just like, nobody's dating. I remember, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to Pam, like, nobody will date a party with me. I can't date a party to save my life. Like, I'm like, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if I smell, like, what's the problem? Nobody will say yes to me, and then, but you just keep going, and then you're able to kind of break through that. But when I'm in a slump, I definitely make sure I listen to training, and then I implement it right away. Listen to training, implement it right away. That it has helped me through so many ups and downs in the business, being able to turn around and put things into play. I would listen to training on the way to parties, and then I would try and see if I could turn around and do it when I got to the party. Sometimes I could. There was a trainer we used to listen to that had a New York accent, and I pick up accents really easily. And I would walk into the party and I'd be doing her spiel, and then I would hear a little bit of that come out. I was like, oh, don't do that. People are gonna think you're weird. Like, so, but seriously, and I see Pam Callan smiling. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, Eleanor Gangler. And it would come out of my mouth. The next thing I know, I sound like I'm from New York. So it's so important to take that time to do that. All right, so next we are going to have a series of managers, and they're going to be sharing with us some tips. So first we're going to have Robin. She's going to be talking to us about Google Forms. And then we are going to have Chris, and Chris is going to be sharing with us this idea she has for a newsletter that actually kind of works hand in hand with Robin. And then Joni is going to talk to us about her cooking show, which is so fun. And then we're wrapping it up with Michaela, and she's going to be sharing some tips with us as well. So, so first things first, we are going to send it over to Robin. So take it away. I think Robin's going to share her screen. So go ahead, Robin.
See it? Okay. So I would say, I don't even know, it was probably last September-ish during Hot Topics. Amy and Jessica did a training on Google Forms. And I think on Tuesday or Monday, Ellen asked, what is a training that like changed your life? I don't know if that's the word she said, but this one changed my life. It didn't really. I mean, it did. I really enjoy Google Forms, but they both went through, they each had different forms, and they talked about how to make a Google form, and it's so easy. And so I did that. Now, I also, during various trainings, Nikki Micah has talked about how she doesn't post a party link. She posts her Google form link, and that gives her more interaction with her customers, which I 100% agree. When I do post both, but when people use my Google form, I connect with them because I have to talk to them. I have to ask them, I have to send them the payment link or whatever. I have to call them and get their credit card number, whatever it is, because I have that all on here. And whenever I created mine, I'm not going to go through on how to do Google Forms, just because that training is available on Champion, and I'll make sure that I'll maybe share it in Champion again, because I do that often for people on my team. But I took Amy's and Jessica's, I took both of their forms and I kind of merged it, made it my own, changed some things. And this is what my Google form looks like. I changed my my banner with each brochure. So this month's banner looks like my copy and paste party. I put the kickoff fall with Tupperware, and I got my little football there. And when you put your photo up for that, it actually makes the color scheme match your photo, which is kind of cool. So you can change that color scheme, but it's kind of got the earth tones there. And you can use this for all kinds of things. I use it for orders, but you could also use it. One of my teammates, Alex, he uses it for when the new catalog came out. He's like, who wants a catalog? Complete this form. And so then he's getting all that contact information for those people who wanted the new fall catalog. I'm not sure how many requests he got for catalogs, but he put it out there and it was really nice. So I asked for their email address. I asked for their name. Now mine is an order form. So I also ask for the name of their hostess, their party hostess. And that works very well if you're doing a multi-hostess party, rather than, a lot of people get really confused and anxious about multi-hostess parties because they don't know where their order is going and they don't want it to be credited to the wrong hostess. But if you use the Google form, they have to write their hostess's name, and that makes it a lot easier that you're crediting the proper hostess for the sale. So I ask for their hostess's name, their name, phone number, mailing address, and then what they want to order. And this, sometimes I think that the item number and all of that kind of gets them, that can, they don't all know the item number. So I make sure that they know that that's not that important, because I have their phone number now. If I want to know what item it is, I'll call them. But they list their order. I make this nice and big, the shipping rates. That way there is absolutely no question about the shipping. I've never had complaints about shipping because it's on this form. They see it right there and they can make the choice, ship direct to me, ship to my hostess. Of course, now that's kind of the same thing. You pay the same amount of shipping either way, but it's there and they see what it is. So I don't normally get complaints about the shipping because they know upfront what it is. Here's my portion about how you want to pay. So they've got some options how they can pay. If they choose PayPal, Apple Pay, or Venmo, then I put it through on my credit card because I already have their money. I always, put that opportunity out there for them to host and give them the current hostess products or flyer. And I give them the option. Yes, I'd like to host, not right now, but maybe later, and no, thank you. And then I also give them the option for the for joining my team. So with all the options there. And again, maybe send me more information. No, thank you. But I'd love to hear about 25% discount, which is the same thing, same thing as being a consultant, But and then that gives me opportunity to talk to them if they should check that. And then of course I like to have a lovely picture of myself because, well, I mean, look at that face. Who wouldn't want to join my team? And ask for their feedback and references. And I don't often get a lot of, I do not make this required because people were they just weren't into it. But I do often get some comments about my parties and I also ask what they liked about my party. But I do love this picture. I was on my brother's boat that day. It was a nice day. But anyhow, that was last fall. That is my Google form. I've also used the Google Forms when we did the turkey trot. That was so much fun. I was able to collect so many more entries than everybody in the world because I used Google Forms instead of calling, and it worked so well. And I still have it here. And the nice thing is on my turkey trot, there were people who were interested in perhaps hosting a party, and I still have those in my back pocket. Some of them I have contacted, but I didn't contact all of them. And so every now and then, when, like Ellen said, when she's short on parties, I'll go back and I'll say, last fall you said you might like to have a party someday. How's today? And see what they say. But there's just so many other things. Like, it doesn't cost anything. You don't have to sign up for a membership. You don't have to pay a monthly fee. And you can use these for everything. You can make, they're so easy to make that, just like when Alex made it to get people, who might want a catalog. They're so easy to make it's just a no-brainer. It's just so simple. And then you have that information. And I didn't actually go back to my order form. The one thing I am not a fan of, and I want to warn you about, is you do not get notified when somebody fills one of these out. So you do
actually, hey, Robin, there's actually a setting to adjust. I can't tell you off the top of my head what it is, but I'll look into that and I'll let you know. But yes, there is a setting that you can tweak on there, so you will get notified.
Yeah, because I went in there and I was like,
I said the same thing. It's so funny. You said, I just said the same thing to somebody like in the last couple of weeks, and she's like, girl, you can do that. I was like, shoot. So, well,
I mean, I'm glad you said that because I didn't know. And I just was like, I opened it up the other day because I've been kind of in a bad way lately. And I was like, 68. I only had 67 last time I looked. So then I looked and a woman in one of my parties ordered a mandolin. That's a nice order right there. So I was like, yay. But and then I have her information. I contacted her because of course now she's eligible for one of our purchase with purchase options. And it's giving me that ability to make that connection, just like Nikki Micah had said in one of her trainings. But I absolutely love the Google Forms, and I'm so glad that Amy and Jessica did that training. And that's all I have to say.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I absolutely love that, Robin. I appreciate you. Awesome. Okay, so let's see here. Next, we are going to Chris. And I am, as you start talking, Chris, I will get your thing up for you. So let's put you there. All right, there you go.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I'm Chris. My thing is Canva. Has anyone used Canva? If you don't, you need to get on it. It's amazing. I'm piggybacking with Robin because I do have Google Forms in my Canva. And I learned this trick actually from Amy and Jessica a long time ago. I shouldn't say long time ago, but it was a while ago. And they did a training on how to put links into Canva. And I just kept doing research and learning more. This is a website. If you are a free Canva, if you can get Canva for free, you don't have to buy the Pro, but the Pro lets you do your cutout. So when I took my picture, I can take and remove my background. So that's where I put that. But you can get up to 5 websites. And I'll drop different things that I've done with websites. But this one here, it shows like desktop or also on mobile. So it'll work either way. And if you would scroll, can you scroll? So then here's the next page. This one I'm asking for emails for a new newsletter. but it's just bullet points of what they'll be getting, you know, once they sign up and stuff. They'll get me, of course, and probably you guys too when you do this. But I just add a little recipe. And then the next page, I added, again, you know, don't miss out. And down at the bottom, you can tap that. It says back to the top, which is so cool. And it takes you right back to the top. You can make this a single page. You can make it as many pages as you want. It's totally up to you. Also, with the little arrow, if you hit that button, it will take you automatically to my Google form. And this just gives a little more information. And I do say, the reason I'm asking for your address is sometimes I drop, you know, gifts in the mail, just a surprise happy mail type stuff. But Google Forms are where it's at. There's new stuff coming out with them. I just watched a huge video and their trainings today that the talking presentations are going crazy. So, which is nice. I use I use Canva also to send like to my hosts and just say, hey, this is what's coming. This is what you're going to get when you get to this level of party. So it's automatic. I never say a person's name, so I can reuse that video and just send it right out. But this is great for collecting emails, which I know everybody's, you know, wanting to do. I haven't started my newsletter yet, but Canva gives you tons of options to get your own newsletter going. There was a question, I missed it. What was it?
Is this a post or an email or what?
This is a website. So this could go straight into a post. This will, it gives you a link and you just drop it into your comments or your, what is it? Help. Wherever you make your post, you just drop the link in there and it pops up and says, come sign up for my newsletter, which is kind of cool.
So basically, this is a website. So what she's doing is she's promoting this website. So when she's making posts, she's linking them to this website to get them on her list. So it's just creating a funnel for her to be able to get the lead, to be able to create the newsletter. I am loving every little bit of this, by the way, Chris. Like, this is incredible. Like, you've done such a beautiful job. And I absolutely love it. It's so funny because I've been working on a newsletter and I was working a show and I was like telling everybody how great this newsletter is and it's so amazing. They're going to get this and they're going to get that. And I was working the show with Eric and I turned around and I was just like, I don't have a newsletter yet. Like, but let me tell you, it's going to have this, this, and this, and I'm really excited about it, and everybody else is too. And I love that you said, I don't have a newsletter yet, but I'm promoting a newsletter so I can get it started. I love this.
You can also QR code that. So you can have it at your table and people automatically boom, and they're signed up right then and there. And the next step, I use Chipmonkey or Chipmonkey. MailChimp, that's it. Which you just copy and paste and it works perfect with Canva. They're the integrate, what's the word? Work together.
Integrate.
Right. So that's a good thing. And that's free. That's a free thing also.
Absolutely. This is great, Chris. What a great share. And I love that you learned the basics of how to do this on Hot Topics, learning from, the various meetings. That's awesome. I absolutely love this. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
I had fun. Thanks.
Absolutely. Awesome. All right. So now we are going to go to Joni. Hello, Joni.
So I'm going to talk to you about our cooking show. When David and I started Tupperware together, immediately we said, we need to cook live. I love going live, and a lot of people get really nervous. They're like, what am I going to do? Everybody's going to be staring at me. This is kind of weird. I'm talking to a computer or a phone. And it's actually not that weird. Because the first thing we learned was people can comment back and forth, and so you can get a conversation going. So we were driving home from work today and we said, okay, so what are all the reasons why we love doing this and why does it work so well for us? So these are the amazing things that go along with it. So first of all, you can make it a family affair, right, Amy? Yes, family affair. Amy does it with her kids. We do it together. So we go on and we cook together and we are complete cornballs and we just love having fun. Yes. Now before Tupperware, I never cooked. Never cooked.
I did all cooking.
He did everything. And then we found Tupperware together. Yep. And now I do a lot of the cooking.
And I get to sit back and do nothing.
Yeah. So when we go live, I kind of take the lead and he's like my sous chef. And it just works. It's just what we fell into. So when you go and you cook live into your Tupper community, into your parties, if you have like a partner in crime, you're going to find your own groove with each other and it's not even rehearsed. It's really not as scary as you think. You also get to share your love of Tupperware. You get to get excited. People see you, they hear your voice, they see your face. And if you're excited, they're going to get excited. You get to demo your products, which is so important. And you get to show how easy our products really are to use, how much it solves problems. We talk all the time about, you come home, you got to do the homework with the kids, throw it in the pressure cooker, set it, forget it. It solves so many problems, your space, your time, your money. And you get to bring the fun of a virtual part of an in-person party virtually. Because if you're not going to people's homes, you've got to liven it up somehow. We live in such a tech savvy world that it's hard to make that connection to people. But if you are demoing and cooking, you're bringing that party vibe into your virtual world, which is really cool. It also allows you to chat and get to know your people and allow them to get to know you, because as you're demoing and you're talking and you're partying and you're having a great time, they're chatting away and you're answering questions for them. You can ask them questions too. We always say, how was your day? Tell us about your day. What's your favorite apple? As you're making the applesauce in the pressure cooker, which was amazing. So you get to chat with them and learn about them. They learn about you. You find out what are their needs, what are their interests, and what problems are you going to get to solve. And if you make a mistake, which yes, it has happened, we dropped our supersonic chopper on the floor because we did not thaw our cream cheese enough. What did we do? We laughed about it, right? We're like, oh, great, here it goes.
Just like peanut butter.
Oh my goodness, the peanut butter came out awful. But we're able to critique ourselves, critique what we just did. We always taste it. We always go back and do a reveal and we laugh at ourselves. So don't be afraid to mess up. You just keep moving. And I remember one of our friends said, you're showing us your human side. You're showing us how to work through a situation, because when we get one of these products in our kitchen, it may not go as well as we hope, but when we see you working through it and solving your problems, it's going to help us to solve our problems. So they get to see you and you're going to learn to laugh at yourself. You get to share all your favorite recipes and find out what they need and what they love.
What do you mean, like the monkey bread?
The monkey bread was amazing. The pizza, so good. And you invite the people into your home. If your kitchen is a mess, who cares? If things are crazy and the dog is barking and the cat is meowing, it's okay, because they see that you have a human side to yourself. So just go live, give it a chance, have a blast with it. And our biggest tip is have everything ready before hitting live. We used to have everything out, but never really prepare it. We would cut and dice and measure and all this. Well, it takes a little bit longer. So we get everything ready. We've got cutting boards, so we lay everything out. All of our products are there. Our food is ready. Everything's measured, but everything is also in a Tupperware container, bowl, whatever. I crack my egg in the little impression bowl and I have it set off to the side. Everything is there in a Tupperware product, but all this stuff like cutting all the carrots ahead of time, you can totally do that and just have it ready. And then in a Tupperware bowl, you'd be like, oh, and here's the reheatable cereal bowl. Look, my egg is in it. Whoop. So you get to show off everything and then come back and reveal what it is and taste it and show your excitement. And then we always share the dish, a recipe, the products right there into the page in the party so that they can go back and they can see how it came out, what the recipe is. They can save it to their phone and all of that. And we always show our product as well, like what it looks like when it was done. So do you have anything you want to say? So we love to go live. Just do it. It's really fun and you'll have a blast.
We usually go live 3 times a week. Oh, bye.
We go Sundays at 3.
Sorry.
That's okay. We go Sundays at 3, Tuesdays at 7, and Fridays at 7. And the Tuesday works really well because we're usually done before the cooking night. So we always will remind them, hey, we're gonna hop in the cooking show. Come join us there now.
We love the cookie sheet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We made peanut butter. What do we make? Peanut butter, something Jerry
my
gave us.
Gosh, so good. Yeah, the peanut butter cookies. Yeah, Jerry's recipe. So yeah.
I love it. They're so good. If you guys don't follow them, follow them. I mean, they're so cute in their
Thank
kitchen.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the things when I was saying, hey, we should have people highlight, like Joni talking about them going live, because I just like, I see it all the time. It shows up in my feed. They do such a great job. And I love that you have like a schedule and you're consistent with it. So, and it's okay. Cause I even saw like the guys were like, listen guys, we're not going live today. Just too much going on. That's okay too. I mean, we're human, things happen. So don't be like, well, I can't make a schedule because what if somebody gets sick or what? Don't worry about that. You can just kind of go as make it up as you go along. Really, truly.
And we have like our own, I made my own graphic so they know exactly what graphic it is. I post that same graphic. It's got all the times and the days. And it goes up in the afternoon. Hey, we're coming at you live with the new recipe, new product, whatever. And like you said, if something comes up, one time we made dinner plans and I just said, we're gonna postpone our live for another day. We have dinner plans, and everyone was like, oh, go have fun. Thanks. So they always understand. Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. All right,
You're
we're going to hop over to Michaela. Hey, Michaela. How you doing?
Hi.
My Jubilee friends. It was so fun to meet her at Jubilee. There's so many fun people we met at Jubilee that we hadn't met or maybe just didn't know that well. And she was definitely one of them. So go ahead, Michaela, tell us your tip.
All right. Well, first off, actually, I just want to say thank you to Robin, Chris, and Joni. Those were all great ideas. Stuff that I think I'm going to start implementing tomorrow. So mine is going to be staying organized and on task. Because like most people, we have really busy lives. I have a full-time job outside of Tupperware. So if I don't stay organized, then nothing will get done for Tupperware. Because when I get home, if I don't have it written down, it's not going to happen. So how I stay organized is I have for like vendor events and parties and most of us all have kids, so after school activities and all of that, I keep a pocketbook calendar in my purse, and it stays in my purse at all times. It goes everywhere with me. I put all my daughter's after school activities, all my vendor events, especially with fall kicking up, all those the holiday trunk or treats and the fall festivals, with all those going on. I put all of those in there so I don't double book anything. And then in the pocketbook calendar, I got it from Walmart for $2.50, and it lasts me for the entire year. So it's great, tiny little investment, and they have all sorts of cute ones. But anyway, so another thing for organized, I create to-do lists. Like I literally have books and pages. Sorry, I'm on my tablet. So like I have notebooks everywhere. Every part of my house, I have a notebook. So I have ongoing lists everywhere. But you know what? Those lists, all of them get done. So all my ideas for Tupperware, everything, it all goes on paper. Because in my head, if I write it down, I am more accountable of actually getting it done. So if it's not written down, it's not going to happen. And I do the same thing for work. So first thing when I get into my office in the morning, I write everything down that I want to get done. And if I don't get it done, it's okay. I move it to the next day. It's not the end of the world. But it's my goal to get all those tasks completed. And I do the same with Tupperware. So when it comes to my parties or the vendor events, I'll write down everything that I need to take to this vendor event, and I check it off when it's done. I write down my goals each month to keep myself accountable, how many parties I want, how I want my team sales to be. And yeah, sorry, I'm really nervous, guys. But yeah, so I write everything down. Staying on task. I set time each day, whether it's 30 minutes or it's a couple of hours, but I set time every single day to focus on Tupperware. I don't take an account to any of these classes. All of the stuff that I am doing is to help grow my business with the parties and my team. So another way of staying on task is, I know when everyone gets on Facebook, we get glued into it, and we'll start scrolling, and we'll go through all the pages and all the reels and everybody's stories, and then we get sucked into all the videos. Well, I do anyway. I don't know about any of you, but I do. So what I do to stay on task when I'm creating a party, because I'm not gonna lie, when I get on Facebook, and if I go to a Facebook group and then I start setting it up and then I see a little notification, I'm gonna click the notification because it's just me. And then I get distracted. It's like a squirrel, like, yeah. All right. So how I set my Facebook parties and staying on task is I have everything copied in Microsoft Word, and I copy all of that so that it limits my time on Facebook to get the task completed. Because I know myself, I don't have the willpower to not continue to scroll through all the pages and the stories and stuff. So yeah, so I pre-write everything in Word. I copy and paste it to the Facebook group. And when I'm done, then I quickly get out of it. That's all I really have. I'm not really, yeah, don't really know much of what to say. So, but thank you.
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you. We're so good, Michaela. Okay, so you said you were nervous. I didn't realize you were nervous until you said that. So yeah, you did such a great job. Thank you so much, Michaela.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. All right. Okay. So I'm totally with her on that. I think, Michaela, you're spot on with as far as like organizing your thoughts and your time. And I saw so many heads nodding when you're like, I don't know about you, but if I get a notification, I'm going to click on it. You're so not alone in that. Same. I mean, just this morning I was laying in bed and I was like, I really need to get up. And then like 30 minutes later, I was like, why am I watching all these videos? So and then I was running late, right? So yeah, we are all in the same boat. So we all appreciate all the tips on like how to stay on track and all that kind of good stuff. I know that's always one of the things I love to hear most about people is how they organize their thoughts around their parties, how they organize their all their posts and things like that, because there's so many different ways to do it. So yeah. Awesome. I love it. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's go back to our screens really quick and zip back through. We have some recognition to do. All right, so personal sales in week 2. Look at that. Number 1 is Jennifer. Congratulations, Jennifer. Number 2 is Nikki. And oh my goodness, they're so close. They're like a serving center away from each other. And Sonia and Sarah and Noreen. Congratulations to all of our top 10 here in personal sales for week 2. We have unit sales. Look at Nancy. Way to go, Nancy. Top in unit sales, 2,000 for week 2. Woohoo. And Sonia, look at that. I love it. Look at these star managers rising to the occasion. All right. And we have congratulations. We have Tina and Lori. I'm doing it backwards. Candace and Michelle and Christine. All right. And then team sales for week 2. Number 10, we have Melanie. Number 9, Deb, Amy Gardner, me, Christy, Nikki, Manel breaking 2,000, Valerie Fisher 2,500, Jessica 3,000, and Loretta at almost $5,000 for the week. Congratulations for week 2 sales. Org sales, we got Manel, Jessica, Loretta, Amy. That's can't be right for Loretta's numbers, because if her team sales were 40, like 5,000, that's these numbers aren't right, but congratulations everybody on org sales. Woohoo! All right. All right. And then we have the recruiter reward. These are people who recruited somebody that then placed an order to get their first order reward. Congratulations to Debbie and me and Jennifer and Carrie. And then the party bonus awards. So that's coming up too for people that new recruits that submit their 500. We have our party bonus award. All right, personal recruiting for week 2, Melissa Kelly, Jessica, and Manel all coming in with 1. Congratulations. Unit recruiting, 1 for Angela and 1 for Melissa. Team recruiting, Valerie has 1, Jessica Gordon 1, and Manel 1. All right, org recruiting, 1, 1, 1. And again, these numbers are wrong because I clearly would have 2 if I have, yeah, anyway, so I don't know what's going on with that. It's no big deal. All right, so leadership development. Okay, did you know that you can get cookware this month for free? How amazing is that? By stepping up to manager this month, you can get cookware. And this is one of my favorite pieces of cookware. This one right here. It's one in my top 3. It's in my top 3. They all kind of like, they kind of jump, but like I go to other ones that they're all like, I use them all equally, but sometimes I use one more and then next week I'm using the other one more. But this is one of my top 3. Absolutely love it. I love that it has like the 2 handles, makes it super easy, especially if your wrists aren't that strong. So sometimes I have days that my hands aren't quite as strong as other days. I'm sure I'm not alone. The joints doing weird things. That's what's so great about this pan, is it makes it super easy to be able to pick up no matter what is in there. And then directors and through organization leaders, when we help somebody step up to manager, we get one as well, which is very exciting. All right, share the shine. We're going to have to do that next week because that is not a drawing that I can do right now. So we will do a double share the shine next week. And then really quick, before we wrap this up, I wanted to share something really quick. Okay, so I wanted to talk for just a couple of minutes. I'm going to make it very fast. You all know I can talk very fast when I need to. So I'm going to make it very fast, but I want to talk about overcoming adversity. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because life, if we sit around waiting for life to get better, we're going to miss out on so many things. And there's so many people right now that are struggling with things. Maybe they're coming back from struggling with things, so they're doing better, but they've had struggles in their past that sometimes overshadow them when they're trying to hit those big goals. And that's why learning how to overcome adversity is one of the most important life skills that we can have. And it's one of the most important life and business skills that we can have, because in this business, you will have adverse times. There's no 2 ways about it. If you're here for more than a year, at some point you will have adverse times, whether the adversity is coming from the outside in or if it's coming from the inside out, whether the adversity is the struggles that you're having, dating the parties, recruiting people, motivating people, doing things like that, or the adversity that you're having is outside sources coming in. It's family struggles, it's things like that, pulling your attention away and pulling your focus away. So I wanted to give you some quick tips on how to overcome adversity. And one of the things that I want to talk about is adversity is one of life's greatest teachers, if you let it be. And that's one of the most important things is, is learning from every situation and realizing that it is a gift, and I cannot even, I remember my first boyfriend was pretty crappy, right? And I remember my friends like, I can't believe you wasted 2 years with that loser. And I was like, it wasn't a waste. I learned what I don't want. Like, that was about it. I learned a lot of what I don't want till I met Eric. I feel like I could have just handed him a list, like, this is what I will and will not tolerate in a relationship. Are you in or are you out? you know, and that's just kind of, but that right there is letting the adversity teach me. And so, so number one is you want to be prepared. We never know when adverse times are going to hit, right? And let's look at finances. I follow Dave Ramsey and things like that. And he's always talking about like, you know, just preparing yourself for that storm. You don't know when it's coming, right? Whether it's finances or it's mental strength that you're trying to like get secure, because you never know when that wave is coming and you have to be prepared to withstand it. And I love the analogy of the wave. How many of you grew up going to the beach? My family's from the South. And so at least one of our vacations every year was a beach vacation. It's still my favorite place in the world to be, is a beach. And I used to love to jump the waves. I used to go out and I'd love to lean in and just crush into the waves as hard as they would crush into me. And sometimes I was standing afterwards and sometimes I got completely wiped out and sucked down the beach, right? You know, because I was little. And so that's adversity. That's a perfect example of when adversity hits. Are you strong enough to crush into the waves and still remain standing? Or are you going to be washed away with the waves? When you're not mentally strong, when you're not physically, financially, spiritually, whatever, prepared for that adversity to come, it can wipe you out. And that's why it's so important to always be working on those things. And so there are people, when COVID hit and all those changes happened, they got wiped out because they're like, I don't like change. Yeah, you know what? Not many people do like change. Okay. But just because you don't like it doesn't mean you should avoid it, because by doing something that you don't like, it just strengthens you. Right. And so people that avoided change all this time, oh, I don't like change. I don't like change. And there's backing away. I don't like change. I don't like change, right? Their whole lives, because somebody told them change is bad. And they're like, oh, I don't like change. I don't like change. If they didn't take that time and practice change on these little things, when the biggest change probably in the history of definitely our lifespan, right, happened, they got wiped out because they were, yes, Heather, I'm scared of change. Yes, lots of people are scared of change. But you still have to practice those baby steps of change so that when a big change happens, it doesn't wipe you out. It may kind of like shake you up, right? It's like being a snow globe, right? But you're still standing. All right. So being prepared, working on overcoming adversity happens before the tough situation, right? Lots of shake. When the time comes to dig deep and uncover how to overcome adversity, you will be prepared because of all those little things that you have overcome that maybe you didn't even look at it as an overcoming. But if you think about it, every day we overcome things. Every day, sometimes just simply overcoming our own mood for the day. Am I right? I mean, sometimes we all wake up with that like cloud over our head and we're like, okay, I can either just continue on walking through this day and letting it suck, or I can try to pivot and make some changes to make myself happy. And so, yeah, Pam, I've called Pam on those days and she's just like, okay, starting right here, right now. It's a new day, starting right here, right now. And so, yes, a do-over, a mulligan for all my golfing friends, right? And so like so many times I sit there and I'm just like, I'll turn on like, okay, actually, so we do this thing sometimes as a leadership thing and you're just like, you turn around and you're like, okay, it's a new day, right? Let's start over. Let's go again. You're turning over a new leaf. So it's really important. Yes, you have to hit the reset button. For a long time, my reset button was going to my parents' house. When I would start to feel like life was starting to like wash over me, I'm like, I need my touchstone, right? I needed to go back to my parents' house. I just need to be there. I need to breathe. And then I was ready. I was like, okay, I can do it. I can do hard things, right? And then when that got taken away, I had to figure out that new place. So what is that place for you? And maybe it's a place you can go to in your mind. Maybe it's a place you can physically go to, right? But figure out what that is so you can tap into it. And it's like a switch, right? Number 2 is practice positivity. How does a person overcome adversity? Through mindset, work, and practice. You have to practice it daily. And it's not always easy, right? Because sometimes, again, life sucks. And you're just like, I don't feel like being positive right now. I'm positive that I don't want to be positive, And so, but it's important to just kind of allow yourself to have that moment, but make it a moment. Don't make it a day. Don't make it a season. Don't make it a week. Read your lips, Robin. She said a week. No, not a week. That's too long. All right. Make it a moment. Make it a moment and just move forward. And if you're struggling with that, tap into the positive people in your life and let them do it. Yes, sometimes it is very hard to be positive, Heather. I completely agree with you. And it's so important to tune out that negativity and tap into the positivity, whatever that is for you. And so with the more you shift towards the positive mindset, the more equipped you'll be to overcome that adversity. Number 3 is to stay disciplined. When tough times hit, it can feel like life is out of control. Yes, yes, and yes, right? Yes, I think we all feel that way. But one of the best things you can do is stick to a routine, is to just really, and so what I refer to it as is I put my blinders on. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my work right now because all this crazy stuff's going on over here and I need to concentrate on my work right here. I'm just going to focus on this little point right here. Like, and that's all I can really do. And I'll just put my blinders on, like, oh, don't talk to me. Nobody look at me. I just need to get my work done. Like, because I can control that. I can't control this nonsense. I can't control any of those things. It's so important to do that. Stay focused. Getting what you want in life is all about focus. It truly is. I was watching my daughter play tennis the other day, and I watched her lose her focus in the middle of a match. And I was like, where'd she go? I'm like, it's missing. So afterwards I said, yeah, I saw you lose your focus. And I started wondering what you had lost your focus on. And she goes, I started thinking about homework. And I was thinking about this teacher that I always think about. And I'm just like, whoa. You gotta stay focused, and she's like, yeah, I got it back. And she did. I could visibly see when it came back. And we do the same thing, right? Talking about scrolling. Oh, there's a notification. I'm gonna click on that. It's a shiny thing. There's something dinging. I'm like, gonna go, let's see what it is, right? We all do it, but we have to stay focused. Visualize your life being focused. Visualize that razor focus. Stay focused on your ultimate goal, no matter what. Destructive thinking will only get in your way when you're learning how to overcome adversity. So it's so important to stay focused on that. Find the lesson. Realize that life happens for you. And that is such a hard lesson, to realize life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. It's teaching you something. And I remember at one point we were going through our hardest time and I was wondering, I was like, why is this still happening? Like, why are we still struggling with this same stuff we've been struggling with for years? And I've been doing all the right things. And I've been putting the work in. And I don't understand why it's still happening. And I remember talking to my dad and I was just like, I feel like maybe we haven't learned our lesson yet. And he just kind of was like, what do you mean? And I said, well, clearly God is trying to teach us something, or he would have plucked us out of this situation. Like, I'm just like, come on. Like, and he's just like, yeah, I get that. And I was like, so I think I just need to open my eyes and try and figure out what that lesson is. So coming up with a plan or establishing a process to prevent it from happening in the future so you can move on. So Steve Jobs says it's best to admit your mistakes quickly and get on with improving and getting on to other innovations, right? All right, so number six is work on your skills. Overcoming adversity is all about taking an honest look at your knowledge and skills and acknowledging your shortcomings and working to improve them every day. In addition to the skills that tie directly with your profession or goal, work on other things that will benefit you no matter what your goal is. That's personal. That's like self-help, right? That's this stuff like this. That's like vision stuff. That's like, be motivated, all that kind of good stuff, right? Learning from others. Think of other people who you admire and ask them how they got there and hear their stories. That there's so much to learn in other people's stories and other people's journeys. I love watching interviews with people when they're actually like kind of digging deep and they're just telling about their childhood and they're telling about things like that. Elevate your peer group. Surround yourself with people who also want to grow. Period. Like, I mean, that is so huge. And in the beginning, it was so hard to do because I didn't know those people that wanted to grow like I wanted to grow. That wasn't in my circle of friends, and I didn't know those people. And then through Tupperware, I met those people, but it took time to cultivate the relationships that I had so that I could consider them my circle, and I consider them the people that I could tap into, right? And so it takes time, but I would intentionally put myself in situations like Jubilee, right? Like going to Jubilee and spending that kind of time with these people so I could get these bonds and have these experiments, right? Or experiments, not experiments, experiences. We're not experimenting with anything. We're just having experiences. You know, dancing on the floor with Michaela and Amy and Jessica and everybody at Like, I mean, that was such a fun experience. And I didn't even know some of those people, you know, or I didn't know them like that, you know, some of the people that we were dancing with and hanging out with. And it was just such a fun experience. And that's what's happened at all the Jubilees and the leadership summits. And anytime that we're able to get together, it really is a bonding experience. Yes, Dawn's on here. I was wondering if Dawn was on. Dawn, we'd never met Dawn, and there she was in real life. And it was so cool, you know, and that's how you kind of get that circle. Get a coach. Okay. So one of the hardest times in our life, I could see it coming. I didn't know it was coming like in a month, right? But I thought it was coming in a couple of years. And I was like, I can see life is about to get a little weird. And I think I need to get somebody to keep me focused. And so I got myself a coach. You have coaches here. You have your uplines, right? You have your upline director who I'm not sure there's a single upline director at Champion that wouldn't be willing to coach somebody that's wanting to be coached. There's no two ways about it. Raise your hands. Let them know that you're there. You know, I have a coach outside of Tupperware, but I also am coached in Tupperware. I have a friend and we actually coach each other. I have Pam. We all have Pam, right? I mean, I just text her. I'm like, help, I need help today. And she will take the time and talk me down off the ledge, right? And so it's so important to have somebody that will hold you accountable in a good way, right? And give them that permission to do that. Yep, Jessica is your coach. Yep, you got it. I know she's your coach because I coach her, so I know that she works with you. See, I know all those little things. Well, at least for the people in my org. All right, so don't give up. Last but certainly not least, don't give up. Don't give up. I know, I miss her too. They have been gone only like 5 days, and I miss all of them. You guys are stuck here with me. All right, so don't give up. Persistence overshadows talent as the most valuable resource shaping your quality of life. Persistence is how you get consistent, right? And it's so important to be like a dog with a bone when it comes to going after your goals and going after what you truly, truly want and need out of this business and out of your life. Because we got one shot, guys, one shot at this, as far as we know. Okay, we have one shot. So we've got to make it count. We don't want it to be this lackluster experience. We don't want to just be, you know, putting one foot in front of the other for our whole lives. It's sometimes you have to do that. You're walking around in a daze because you just got side swiped by life, and something hit you that you weren't expecting. And yes, in those moments, you have to put one foot in front of the other in your numbed state. However, that's not a way to live. That's not a way to live a life. And so it's so important to not give up. It's important to pivot if things aren't going the way that you're wanting them to go. It's important to confide in that person that you trust to help keep you on track. It's important to confide in them how you're feeling and say, what should I do? Which direction should I go? And sometimes it's a how to, and sometimes it's more of a, you know, let's work on all of this together, right? And so it's so important because adversity happens to everyone, but it doesn't need to derail our lives. And learning how to overcome adversity is a life skill that everyone must master. And it's sad, but there have been plenty of times I've been walking around the store. I've been walking around anywhere and you see a lot of people. I just worked a fair, so you get lots of people watching there. But you can see the people that have just kind of like given up. You know, they're just kind of like, this is life. I'm here. I'm not crazy about it. No, that's not you, Robin. I refuse to let that be you. But seriously, I mean, that's not why we're here. And so there's a song, and when I was going through like like a tough time, I remember this song, and we were actually on our way, I think, to like a Disney trip or something. I don't know. We were getting in the car. It was like 2 a.m. and the whole family was in the car, and we're driving because we used to drive when the kids were little, so they'd sleep most of the way. Which I never did because they're always so excited. It always sounds like a great idea, but it never works. But anyways, so, but and it's an older song, and it's called Meant for More. And I think about this song all the time, and it just speaks to my core because I truly believe I'm here for a reason. I am meant for so much more than I can even fathom. And there's a speaker, his name's Dean Graciosi. I listened to him this past week. I've been listening to his training for years, but this past week I was listening to him, and he was like, what if you get to heaven and God shows you like a video of what you could have done? Like, what would that look like? Like what you could have done if you really went for it, and if you didn't give up, and if you didn't do those things. And I was like, oh, like that's tough. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's a little rough. But I remember thinking, yeah, talk about regret. Yeah. And I remember thinking, when I was early on in my business, when I get scared and I'm like, I don't want to do that. What are people going to think? Oh, and I go into that weird place in my brain, and I'm like, everybody's talking about me and thinking about me. And then I realized, like, nobody's talking about me. Nobody's thinking about me. And that's not that important to, you know, except for like the people that are important to, but like everybody that I was so worried about what they thought about, I'm like, they're not thinking about me. They're not even paying attention to me. And I was just like, so who cares what they think? And then I would ask myself, would I pay myself? Would I do this job if somebody was going to pay me 6 figures? And it was like making phone calls, like trying to date parties. And I was like, yeah. And so I would date the party. I would get on the phone, and then I would like, and then I was like, well, I don't want to ask this person about joining my team, because what if they think it's weird and they think I'm one of those people that's always asking people to join their team. And then I was just like, okay, well, if somebody offered me 6 figures, because that was always my goal, if somebody offered me 6 figures, would I have that conversation? I'm like, yeah. Yes. The answer is always yes. And so that's why I just kept putting one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, creating the life that I wanted, creating the business that I wanted, creating the paycheck that I wanted, creating the date book I wanted, creating the connections that I wanted, you know. And then it just became this, right? It became this because I wasn't this before Tupperware. I was a mom, which I am now, but I was a mom, messy hair, and just getting by, right? Most time wearing my give up on life pants, right? Elastic waist, like I don't care type of a situation. And it's important that, you know, to realize like if that's what you want to be, that's okay. But that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted so much more. I wanted to model that for my kids and my family and everybody that I loved. And that's what we have the ability to give people. And that's what we have the ability to do here. And so I want to encourage you to overcome that adversity, whatever it is, and whatever might be coming our way, whether it's like a Tupperware thing, or whether it's like a life thing, or whether it's just, you know, nobody wants to date parties with me thing, you know, we can do this. We can do hard things, especially when we stick together. And so that's what I want to encourage you. When that stuff happens, talk to your upline, you know, not complain, talk, right? Say, I have this problem and I got to figure out a way to solve it. Not just like, I have this problem and I hate this and I hate this and I hate this and I hate this. Right? That's not going to work, you know, but just really come with the idea of trying to solve the problem. Let's solve the problem. Do you want to complain about the problem? Let's solve the problem, you know? And so we can do that together. All right. So really quick, we just need to do our, let me just see. We need to do our first timer. And so do we have any first timers on here? I saw one of them from our call earlier. Michelle K. She is a first timer. Tawana's on here. She's a first timer. Are there any other first timers besides the two of them? No, I can't do parties up. I'm not that organized. Sorry, Rob. It'll happen. It's just, I can't, like, yeah, no. I've started trying to count and I kept getting, I kept getting distracted because everybody was talking and I'm like, oh, I want to hear what they're saying. So yeah. Okay, so we'll come back to parties up. Don't worry, it's gonna happen. What am I doing? Oh, in a minute. Yeah, I got you, Twana. So we have two. Hey Google, give me or not Google, this is Siri. Hey Siri, give me a number between 1 and 2. What? Hey Google, give me a, hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 2. It's 2. All right, so it's Twana because she is number 2 on my list here. All right, well, she's further down than Michelle. All right, so Twana is the winner for that, and then we will do our guess, or we will do our attendance draw. So we have 23. Hey Siri, can I have a number between 1 and 23? The number is 5. So let's look at my screens. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Robin. Robin is like sitting there looking at me like, It's Robin. Congratulations, Robin. You are attendance winner. Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Sorry, it ran a little bit longer than I wanted to. I kind of got on a little bit of a roll there, but thank you guys so much. Awesome. Have an awesome week. Oh no, there was something I was supposed to talk about and I forgot. I'll make a post, but for those of you that are still on, Pam is doing a challenge this week. For every $200 you submit, you can get a Tupperware tea window cling for like the Tupperware team logo, the T, right? And you saw, I know, it's fun. You can put them on your water bottles, you can put them all over the place. And so for every 200 that you sell, you can get a window cling for $1. So if you sell $400, yeah, I think they're like this big, that big or so. But yeah, and then we have some fun region stuff going on too. So definitely work on dating those parties, hitting submit, doing all the things. And managers, take a look at our manager chat. There is a call for you guys tomorrow, and I will post all the information in the manager chat. It's a regional call. So if you're interested in getting on that, I'll put it in the manager chat. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a good night.